God bless you, my brothers and sisters. We are continuing in our 40 Days of Decrease series. Our scripture for today is John chapter 18, verses 33 through 40. And I want to encourage you to actually read through those scriptures for today as you work through today's heart fast. Discontentment thrives in comparison. It grows when desire fixates on what is missing rather than what has been given. When left unchecked, discontentment reshapes gratitude into grievance and stewardship into dissatisfaction. But Lynn invites us to slow this internal drift and examine how unmet desire quietly governs our attention and our trust in God. Today confronts discontentment not as a fleeting emotion, but as a posture of the heart that distorts reality and corrodes faith. Discontentment is the refusal to accept one's present reality as a place where God is active. It is to say, I don't like this, so God must not be here. It's an ongoing sense that something else, something more, something different, something delayed is required before obedience, joy, or faithfulness is possible. Spiritually, discontentment often disguises itself as ambition or discernment while quietly feeding dissatisfaction. To fast from discontentment is not to deny desire or to ignore injustice. It's to refuse the lie that fulfillment and faithfulness are always located somewhere else. This fast trains us to resist comparison and to practice gratitude that is rooted in trust. John records that Pilate entered his headquarters again and called Jesus, asking him in John 18:33, "Are you the king of the Jews?" This question exposes competing visions for power, for fulfillment, for authority. Pilate's world is built on control and alignment with domination. Jesus introduces a different kingdom altogether. In verse 36, he responds, "My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, my servants would have been fighting, but my kingdom is not from this world." Discontentment thrives in kingdoms grounded in acquisition and comparison, but Jesus's kingdom is defined by truth rather than possession. So Pilate presses further in verse 37. "So are you a king?" "You say that I'm a king," Jesus answers. "For this purpose I was born, and for this purpose I have come into the world to bear witness to the truth." Truth, not accumulation, not comparison, not acquisition, but truth is what grounds Jesus's mission, he says. Pilate's final response in verse 38, "What is truth?" reveals cynicism that is born of dissatisfaction. When truth loses value, desire seeks quick substitutes. The crowd chooses Barabbas instead of Jesus in verse 40, trading integrity for immediate gratification. Discontentment does not emerge only from lack. It often surfaces in the presence of abundance. Judas held the money bag, but he was dissatisfied. Pilate wielded authority, but he was restless. When desire is unanchored from trust, no amount of possession satisfies. Discontentment shifts focus away from God's provision toward imagined alternatives. It convinces us that obedience must wait for better circumstances. Yet Scripture consistently presents contentment as a learned posture grounded in trust rather than conditions. Here's the heart of today. Discontentment distorts perception and erodes faith. When desire governs vision, gratitude fades and truth becomes negotiable. So Jesus's His response is here: embody contentment that is rooted in purpose. He does not scramble to satisfy expectations or compete with people for approval. He remains anchored in the truth of who he is and why he's come. Lent then trains desire. It exposes the subtle ways that discontentment shapes our prayers, our patience, and our obedience. By fasting discontentment, we practice redirecting attention toward gratitude, resisting comparison, and embracing the present moment as a space where God is faithful. This fast doesn't eliminate longing, but it can reorder it, aligning desire with trust and expectation, with faithfulness rather than restlessness. So today's fast invites intentional gratitude. And today I want to commend you to identify one area where dissatisfaction has been shaping your outlook. Ask whether comparison or unmet desire has displaced trust. And then choose one practice of thanksgiving today, naming aloud what has been given rather than what is lacking. And then allow gratitude to interrupt comparison and to realign desire with faith. Again, I want you to choose one practice of thanksgiving today, naming aloud what has been given rather than what is lacking, and allow gratitude to interrupt comparison and realign desire with faith. Here are your reflection questions for today as you prepare to pray. Where does discontentment most frequently surface in my life? How has comparison shaped my expectations? And what might trusting God in my current reality look like? There's so many people that are struggling with discontentment. And they're struggling with discontentment because they have not taken the time to truly reflect on questions like this in the context of their walk with God. And so I want to commend you today to take the time to actually think through, pray through all of this information as you prepare to pray today. And be sure to read through John chapter 18, verses 33 through 40. God bless you, my brothers and sisters, and we'll see you tomorrow.